Okay, this is the first time that I've ever gone live on YouTube, and so I hope everything is working okay. Uh, I want to say about my first magic spell that I did, and when I realised that magic worked, and it was a love spell. It was a spell to meet someone. Uh, to cross paths with someone that basically I had a crush on, and it was Candle Magic. I can remember uh, buying a book, and I think with the book you got all these little candles. I'm going back because I was about 16, and I'm 54 now. So I am going back a few years, and well, I, uh, I read the book, and I found this spell that I really wanted to work because this girl was just beautiful to my eyes. She was just perfect. But her parents were very strict, and the only time she was allowed out at night was to the youth club, which was basically next door to where she lived. So the only time I used to see her at night was at the youth club, and so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at the youth club, and never saw her on Saturdays or Sundays. Well, I set up this candle experiment spell. I used a pink candle because pink resonates, pink and green. You can use green as well. Resonates with the heart chakra, and it was I think like a Romany kind of a- attraction spell, um, and it was a Sunday night. And as I say, she was never allowed out, only on weekdays at the youth club. Well, I lit this pink candle. I visualized her, and I said the words that needed to be said, in the book. I'd written them out on a piece of paper. I'd read them a few times. I'd taken in what the words were actually saying, following the rules, what the book was telling me to do. Um, Intent, oh, there was I didn't have to build up intent, that was already there. As I say, I had a big crush on her. And I did this, my first candle magic, my first spell. And after I finished, I was thinking, well, Sunday, just go down at the local and have a drink with my mates. But as I walked in the local, as I was walking towards the bar, and I will remember this like it was yesterday, I heard a voice behind me, her voice, saying, I bet you didn't think you'd find me here. And to my amazement, there she was, sat in the pub. I mean, my jaw just dropped, and she'd never been in the pub, and it turned out what had happened. Her friends had gone to not her friends, her family. Um, Someone had been taken ill, and they'd gone up to Sheffield, and the princess was left with her younger brother, and told not to leave the house. But of course, she had this sense of freedom, and she made her way to where she knew we would all be, and that was my first encounter with magic. And some people would say, "Oh, that's just a coincidence," You just, but that was the only time she came into that pub. The only time, and it was on a few hours before I did the spell of attraction, so our paths would cross, and our paths did cross, and there she was in the pub on a Sunday night, which never happened normally. Um, and uh, as I sat down with my drink and chatting to her, I didn't say nothing about me doing a candle spell. It was for one, you're not supposed to tell people about uh, your spells that you know you've done, but I think I can let this one go public because I am 54 now, and this was you know my first ever attempt at calling out into the magic universe, and actually made something happen. And from then on, I progressed, and I got into deeper magic, and I got my backside kicked a couple of times, and I stopped doing it. But that was my first ever spell. So magic does work, and it's all about, well, when you get into sort of um, more complex magic, um, you need a private room, or a private space where no one's going to come in, and it's the important thing, is what you have to say. It's best if you can do it off by heart. Um, Sometimes, if it's a really long, you write it, and you write it not just on, normal writing paper. You write it on parchment paper, what you've got to say, and that's put on your little altar, and you can put a white cloth just across a little table to make your little altar, and and the most important thing is the purification um, of the tools that you'll be using in the magic spell, and you sprinkle salt, and you say the purification um, ritual, and then you cover it up with a white cloth, and leave everything alone, and for 24 hours, I think. It's been so long since I've done magic, and then that gets rid of all anything that might have been negative there. I mean, salt is a really good sort of dispeller of negativity, and when you're doing purification, salt is, you know, and and you don't rush things. Things have to be done properly, and and care taken into the spell, and then you've got your notes. Keep notes of what things went right, what things went wrong. Um, you work with the moon as well. That's important. Um, when the moon is, I always get this mixed up. Waxing. When the moon is getting bigger, basically, that's when to do magic. Not when it's waning and getting smaller. Um, do it when a new moon is good. You know, to do a magic spell. Um, you know, y- everything is connected. Everything is connected in the world of magic, the world of spirituality. Everything is connected. Colors, you know, if you're doing um, uh, a love spell, you'd be wearing something pink or something green, um, and just make it as effective as possible. And I think what's happening now is that more people are turning to looking for the spiritual answers, the fundamental questions. Uh, why are we here? Um, uh, where do we go when we die? And I mean the last sort of 6, 7 years, the growth of UK paranormal groups, has been amazing, and and it's good that people are turning away, realizing that material you won't get happiness through material things. You say you're into cars, you buy your favorite car, your Ferrari, and but that after a while um, starts to become just a thing, and you want it's not fulfilling. The only thing fulfilling really is love, and I believe we have a spark of love within us all, and and that is our spirit. Um, these bodies are just like suits, and when we die, we just leave this body, and we go to the spirit world. And what we're trying to find out now is what the spirit world is like. And uh, I know many of you who've got spirit boxes have realised that the more you sort of delve into this, the more questions um, become of it, because it's not like what you expected it to be like. And but there are some people doing some um, beautiful things with communication with spirits. Um, there's paranormal voice, and I mean they've got a very gentle approach. Uh, they're sensitive to spirit. Um, they can feel it. Um, they're not demon chasers. You know, we've had enough of that now. Like, these demon chasing channels. Um, yeah, everyone loves Zach Baggins and Ghost Adventures. Yeah, it's a thrill. Um, but sort of for real reality, people, um, uh, uh, my preferences are paranormal voice. Um, Another one that is doing something different, elemental encounters, um, getting in contact with nature spirits, and I've actually um, done a lot. Must have done a lot of reading and research, and have contacted and even photographed um, nature spirits. And I think a lot of the photographs, um, they didn't actually see the nature spirit at the time. It was only when studying the photograph afterwards that these nature spirits appeared. And so they're now moving into down sort of like a Wicca sort of way, and that is beautiful because they what they take from nature, um, to make a wand from an elm tree. um, they ask permission, and they give something back, um, which is what it's all about. Magic has to be balanced. Um, you can't keep doing spells for yourself because they will just stop working in the end. Uh, or worst case scenario, the opposite can happen. Um, you know, what you get out of this world is what you put into it, and the more love you put into this world, the more kindness that you show other people. Um, the That's our only way of fighting back of the people that are in power, and the people that chasing money. The banking system and all that material. I mean, I'm obsessed by material things, and all. That's what all these wars are about, and all this, and about oil, and religion, but you know, they're caught up in material obsession, and in the tarot, material obsession is the devil card. So that shows you the road that the the ruling elite, if you like, if you want to call them that, like uh, that's the path they're going down, and so. As we're coming out of the age of Pisces and moving into the age of Aquarius, um, I can see more and more people getting interested and having an inner sense, an inner yearning to find out what it's all about. Why are we here? We're not here to make money. I mean, you don't take that away when you leave your body. You don't take money with you. You come in with to this world with nothing material wise, and you go out with nothing material wise. But some of these groups that obsessed by demons, I think they've got to watch themselves because I can see that some of them have attachments, negative attachments. I won't name the groups, but and when they go to negative places where there's been hangings and you know um, I mean, yeah, you got to check these places out, paranormal wise, because um, they leave a strong impact. There's a strong spiritual footprint presence there, um, from you know people waiting to be hung the next day. Um, but you can do that in a positive way, in just trying to talk to some of these people, and you know rather than oh, demon, they said demon, oh, you know and like negative attracts negative. It's As above, so below, yin yang. Everything um, has to balance, and if you're looking for the negative side of the spiritual world, then you're going to find it, and you're going to get attachments, and um, and these people that have got attachments, when they go to these negative places, um, things do kick off. Uh, that's very a blunt way of putting it. Um, but there's uh, lots of bangs and you know doors slamming or banging on the walls and all that. It's because they they they've already got attachments, and and the negative spirits where they go pick up on this. Uh, so another group that I've uh, well, the Ouija brothers from Wolverhampton were the first West Midlands group, uh, uh, and they're good fun. I mean, you know, and it's amazing because I recognise their West Midland accent, and I'm living in Wales, living in Newport, Wales. There, oh, I really sounded like a farmer then, didn't I? Quite a bit of it. Um, but this new group, paranormal detectives. Um, I mean, I wrote to them. I said, I can pick your West Midlands accents out. I said, I said I myself from Starport on 7. And then they wrote back, oh, there's two of them there. And they said, I'm from Starport on 7, and the other guy is from Bewdley, which is just down the road from Starport on 7. And they've offered to, when I'm in the West Midlands, when the weather gets a bit warmer, to take me. Anyway, they are well worth a look. Paranormal detectives, and you know, but it's great that people are turning on to this, and it's uh, just the interest in finding out uh, why are we here. We're here to advance spiritually. To find that there is a universe within us, as above, so below. You know, um, that there is a universe within us, and I can remember as a 16-year-old, practicing leaving my body, and I did it, and it was an amazing experience, and I used to have loads of lucid dreams where I was realizing it was a dream, and I could I was carrying a coat. I can remember in this one dream, and I just threw the coat away because I knew it was just a dream. And then you can just launch off like Superman and fly through the air, and as soon as you think of a place, you're there. And I hope that's what the spirit world is like. When you when we're spirits, that's we can zoom around and and go to places as soon as we think of them. But after I've been doing sort of ITC um, communications through hacked radios. Um, I bought radios, hacked radio ghost boxes built by Simon Cox. It was well worth a look. Um, I bought his ghost boxes, but from 2013 till now, after talking to spirits, you get your regulars, and people say, "Oh, it's radio." Oh, it's not radio. You know, you get to know which is radio and which isn't. And some boxes that Simon builds are actually silent um, uh, until a spirit voice um, comes through. So, you know, happy 2020. Let this decade be one of a spiritual revolution. We're not gonna get anywhere through guns or anything like that. It's gonna be done. So the only way is love, and showing each other kindness, doing kind things, thinking, being mindful of 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 what of this spark of the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, we've got within us. Being mindful of that, working with that, and just doing kind things, um, because you know you can set a chain of events happening. Just um, making someone smile um, can make them feel happy and think of someone and phone someone, and it just you know you don't know what you know how far your positivity is going to go. With just by making someone smile or laugh, or you know, I mean, it's the first time I've done this. And I would never have done this in my 20s. I would have been too paranoid that I would make a fool of myself. But when you get past 45, you just stop caring. You don't care what people think of you, which is wonderful. Because I used to suffer with that anxiety. I'm thinking of starting a web page for people that are suffering with anxiety and low moods, depression, and and you know, showing them ways out, because I've had to do it myself. You know. Um, but anyway, I've waffled on and I've gone off the subject completely. What I was talking about, which was my first spell. So I don't know how this has come out. It might not have come out at all. There's no likes or anything like that. But say la vie. I may not even be live. I may have just wasted my time. But I'll end this now. I think everything is okay. Yeah. Well, let's see on the playback. So, love and peace to all. And when you look at the homeless, which is just really upsets me, I don't just think, oh, that drug addicts, alcoholics. Yeah, a lot of them are, but um, why are they? You know, I know I've worked for Newport Mind as an advocate and trained in mental health. And there's this thing called dual diagnosis where, alcoholism or drugs, um, people are actually self medicating, tr- trying to make their minds, trying to make themselves feel better. And unfortunately, alcohol, people become alcoholics, and so you got to think of these homeless people having mental health problems. No one wants to live in a tent, and when your benefit is stopped, when you go on universal credit, and you have to wait 5 weeks for your money to come. So you got no money for 5 weeks. And then they give you the rent money as well. And a lot of these people, yeah, some of them are lazy and yeah, but a lot of them have got mental health problems, and people can be so judgmental without knowing the facts. And they've had no money for 5 weeks, so they're given their rent money and everything, which they spend on their their medication, and whether it's alcohol, heroin, crack, cocaine, those are the three main ones. And because I've worked in that field as well, Inroads Drugs Project, a wonderful drug project in Cardiff. I worked there years ago as an advocate, and so I've seen what street life is like by working in a needle exchange. There was just like a porter cabin, and the working girls used to come, and get their needles, and it is there's a lot of people that need love and not negative, judgmental. So with that, I'll finish finally, and just wish you all a happy 2020 and a decade that hopefully more people are going to realise that the spirit world is the real world, and this is an illusion. And you've got to read a bit of watch What the Bleep Do You Know? That film. What the Bleep Do You Know? It's I think it's a BBC film, and it's just spot on, and it shows the power of thought, and quantum physics comes into it, and you realise we are part of a whole. We are part of the human race is like a shoal of fish. People don't realise it. Uh, we need each other. We're not solitary animals. We're pack animals. We need company. And my friend's been here today, and we have a lovely time. But there's a lot of people that are sat next to each other in houses, and they sit next to each other, and they're really lonely, and they can't see each other because there's a wall, and so they're sat sort of like 6 feet apart, feeling really lonely. And if only they realised, you know. So, you know, let's try and spread some love into this world, and stop thinking of what we can gain, Um, you know, serve to self. No, that's not what it's about. It's about it's about learning to serve others, and just showing some kindness, and as much love as you can give, because I was only 16, seems like a blink of an eye ago, and all of a sudden I'm 54, and I got a lot wrong with me, um, but you know, I've I've had a good innings, and for my children's sake, I hope I can carry on for another 10, 15 years, like, you know, um, and but you can see what's happening with when you go into town now, you know, um, all the pubs are gone, towns are full of tents with homeless people under the bypasses of the motorway. You can see lines of tents, um, and it's not just it's every town and city. The bigger the city, the more homeless people uh, go there, and it's a life that I would want to live, and so let's tune into the spiritual world, and let's find that when they took 4,000 people who meditated to Washington, D.C. in the 1970s. You can Google this. In the 1970s, I think it was, and For 1 hour, they meditated on l love and peace, tranquility, and violent crime, to the amazement of the police, um, sergeant, whoever was in charge, went down 75% or 25%. I can't remember, but it went down for that hour when they were just sending out love, peace, and tranquility. And so I think that's the way forward for this decade. So love to you all. And I'm thinking of setting up a website for those people that aren't, are struggling. So I'm going to try and do a bit more. Love. Catch you later. Bye.